Hi everyone, Frank from Obelisk. Have you ever wanted to build your own app? Well, guess what? Claude Design is here to help you be your design expert and build an amazing looking app layout in just a few minutes. In this session today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on building a prototype for a grocery store. And this mock grocery store is called Health Grocer. So first, it's going to ask you, what do you do? What's your role? So in this case, I've chosen design, sales, marketing. What are you interested in making? Product mockups, slide decks, landing pages, one pagers. So there are lots of different kind of prototype styles that you can make. Let me click on continue and we're ready to go. So it kind of walks you through, some of the things that you can do. Do you want to bring in screenshots? Do you want to kind of circle and point at what you want to change? Do you want to drag in, CSS for different stylings and things like that? Do you want to be able to adjust controls, save it as a template, save as a PDF? Okay, and then we get into the actual design piece itself. It needs to start with some assets. So I don't know if it can start from zero. So in this case, I've taken some images that I have of the aisles of the grocery store and the logo and an HTML page that gives some context to the grocery. And it also has kind of a layout that I like and decent fonts. Okay, then we let Claude Design start thinking. And it's pretty amazing. What I would recommend is two things when you're working with Claude Design. First off, just read what it's doing, right? It's walking through, uh, taking in the assets, processing them, understanding them, right? And I think, it goes through a whole series of different checks. It's trying to figure out your fonts. It's trying to figure out your hex codes, which is the color palettes that you're using. And then it's going to make recommendations. Now, one of the things that I asked it for is I asked it to design specifically an Android app. By default, it will create an iOS app, and conceivably as well, you could have both an Android and an iOS app. In this case, because it's design files, you want to have kind of exact designs for either device. So in this case, we're using Android. One thing I will point out as we're going along, which is kind of neat, is this little tips at the bottom. Sometimes it says jokes and whatnot, but other times it says useful things like if you want to add more content into the repository, like let's say there's an image that you like or another kind of variation of the logo, you can just kind of cut and paste it in. Um, Now it's actually going in and it is designing the screens for the grocery app that we're building here. And what I've asked it to do is just create a little grocery checker, price checker. So it's taking kind of a 5-page template and customizing it to the request. So the idea is I'm envisioning a grocery store app where you can walk around with the app and scan barcodes, and it'll tell you how much things are, and you can add items to your list that way. Add grocery store items to your cart, right? So it's kind of this interactive app, and here we are. So we've got our health grocer price checker. And one more step here. There is some waiting involved, I have to say, but it's totally fine. It's just a few minutes. And this last step here, Claude is very clever. What it's doing is it's going in and saying verifying. It's verifying that all these template pages are consistent uh, across each app page. So are the colors consistent? Are the prices consistent? If you, let's say, did a whole milk one price on one page, it should show up as the same price on the other page. So it's going in and it's verifying all of those little details. Okay, and away we go. One thing I will say, having built a lot of these mockups and been in meetings where we're reviewing mockups of apps, um, design does an extraordinary job. It takes a long time to come up with all of the content, just even for a mockup. So for it to go through in just a few minutes, have those mockup numbers for all these groceries and to keep them consistent across the app, that's very helpful. One of the other things that's added in is this barcode page. Conceivably, you could have, if it's using AI in the background, you could have it. You could take a picture and bring that picture of the product in, and it could give you a price. Okay, so there we are. We've got our app, and it is ready. This design is ready. Now let's pause here for a second. I came up with an idea as I was going through this, and I said, add a screen where I can take a core product and ask it to recommend ingredients already in my cart that can be used to make a meal. So I'm adding a recipe component to this app. This is where the magic comes in. So you can come up with, as you're going through and creating these prototypes, what's the next page? What's the next logical step? And try it out and see if it works in the context. In this case, this extra page happens to work quite well. So Claude is thinking about that as well. And it is not only going in and rendering that particular page, all of its fonts, all of the colors, but it's also going in and making it consistent with the rest of the app. Okay. One of the things that's really neat is when it comes up with the meal page, right? It goes in, it matches the styles, right? And it is going in. This is one other thing I did want to point out is it's going in and creating all of these unique icons for the app as well. So even if it was kind of pulling from a library of icons, it would take a designer a long time to go in and do that selection of icons. And hey, here and there, you can decide, yeah, I like this icon, I don't like that icon. And I'm going to show you a feature in just a minute where you can go in and just circle and change those. Okay. we are coming up to the point where it is creating our new page. It'll do its checks and we'll take it from there. Now we're finally on the verification step. And one of the things I thought of while I was thinking about the meal page, I thought, gee, you know what people will want? People will want to also have what's the average calorie per serving in that page as well. So I jotted that down. And while Claude Design was thinking, I went in and added that other tip as well. Now, notice one of the notes up top in the left-hand corner here. It says, add a sticky, add missing $4.50 CTA to fill the gaps at the top. So Claude is actually, when it's doing this verification step, it is like your master designer. So again, it really is worth the wait. A master designer comes in, or lead designer comes in, takes a look at the layouts, and will circle the areas that do need fixing. All right, and we will be coming up to our page. Yeah, I'm just going to scroll over and we shall see our brand new meal ideas page. Great. So here we go. We have an option here based on our cart, at least the cart that's filled in the example here, to build a cheddar omelet. And also there's an option there for 3 meals that you can make. Okay. Now it will also go in and I've asked it to add the calories for this particular meal, right? And also a way where you can go in and you can track those calories. So I said, look, go ahead and put in another page where it allows you to track your overall calories based on the meals that you're eating. Again, so this is just another value add. With the power of Claude Design, it gives you the option of blue skying different ideas. So you may not ultimately add this feature in or this page in, but it gives you the freedom, even as a non-designer, to go in and explore this concept. You may need some tweaking there. For example, if you notice in the graph uh, at the bottom, it's not weighted quite correctly, right? The protein and fat aren't kind of equally set. And I wanted to show you this one key feature here, which is markup and add a feature. This is what designers do all the time. So you circle an area and say, you know what would be really amazing is if we add something right here. In this case, I want it to add a shuffle button. So if you, let's say you've gone in and you've tried their cheddar omelet, it was amazing. But what you want to do is you want to shuffle it up a bit, choose between the 3 different meals, or if you've made those 3 different meals, you hit shuffle and voila. Just on that basic command, Claude Code takes that screenshot of your of the markup, and it goes in and it's now building that feature into the HTML page. These are all HTML pages, by the way, and you can export them as HTML and then work with them in Canva or work with them in Figma. So they've really thought through, their audience for Claude design. Okay, and it's writing that up, writing the scripts for it. And again, this is HTML, so you can go in and do those particular tweaks. If you, let's say, had sliders in your application, you could go in and do those particular adjustments as needed, right? And of course, all those particular mockups, you might want to change your grocery list as you're going through, so you could do that in Figma or Canva. But there are a lot of ways in which you can interact with design. If you already have something in Figma, you can then import it and use it, and just drag it and drop it directly into design and make use of it. Right? And there we've got it. We've got our shuffle button. So when you go in and have your next grocery experience and you said, oh, you've already had those 3 meals, with this set of groceries, let's shuffle and try some more. Now that we're done with our app, what we can do is preview it in its own tab, or we can preview it full screen. Now finally, we've got our files here, and we can preview them. And there's the preview. And if we download these files, we won't be able to view them locally. The HTML page needs to be hosted, but those files are ready to go if you want to share them online. You also have this handy share button that you can use. Share them within the context of your workspace, or create a PDF. Or here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a standalone HTML page that works offline and download that. So there you go. There's our walkthrough of Claude Design. Now you can use it to make your excellently designed apps. Get your copy of the AI Automation Handbook. Click the link in the description below.